Trigonometric ratios are ratios that relate certain sides and angles in right triangles to each other. Okay, so it would be a pretty good idea for you guys to write down each ratio and how they work. Okay, so the sine of an angle, the sine of angle A, which is right down here, it is the ratio of the length of the opposite side to the length of the hypotenuse. So sine is the ratio of the length of the opposite side to the hypotenuse. The cosine of an angle is the length of the adjacent side in a ratio with the hypotenuse. So sine is the opposite side to the hypotenuse as a fraction. Cosine is the adjacent side to the angle over the hypotenuse. And the tangent is the opposite side over the adjacent side. So when you're working with right triangles, you need to find the hypotenuse first. And then whatever angle you're working with, then you figure out which one's the opposite side and which one's the adjacent side. Because the adjacent side is never the hypotenuse. Thank you for helping her out. So the sine is the opposite over the hypotenuse. The cosine is the adjacent over the hypotenuse. And the tangent is the opposite over the adjacent. Now, we can make up an acronym for that. The acronym is SOHCAHTOA. Now, SOHCAHTOA, it has nothing to do with Sacagawea. Sacagawea led Lewis and Clark to around North Dakota and those parts, helped guide them. SOHCAHTOA has nothing to do with that. SOHCAHTOA says that the sine is the opposite over a hypotenuse, the cosine is adjacent over the hypotenuse, and the tangent is the opposite over adjacent. Okay? You just got to know those. Okay? We'll use that the rest of the chapter. Sine, cosine, and tangent. And you have to know how they work with each other. Okay? Sine, cosine, and tangent. So, I'll let you finish writing, and then we will go on. All right. So now we're going to actually put this into application on a triangle. Here's a triangle with 9, 12, and 15 for the three sides. Okay? 9, 12, and 15 are the three sides. What side did I tell you to find the first? Hypotenuse. 9, 12, or 15 is a hypotenuse. 15 is a hypotenuse. Okay? So our hypotenuse is 15. Now, we're talking about angle H here. So what's the opposite side of angle H? The 9 or the 12? The 12 is opposite of angle H. So this is opposite And then, so 9 would be the adjacent. So now you have opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse. So what is the sine of angle H? Well, you have to put the opposite side over the hypotenuse. So what number is opposite? 12. Hypotenuse? 15. 12 divided by 15 is 4/5. So the sine of angle H is 4/5. The cosine of angle H. What is the cosine of angle H? Well, that's the adjacent over the hypotenuse, which is what over what? 9 over 15. Which equals 3/5. And the tangent of angle H. What is the tangent of angle H? 12 over 9. Opposite over adjacent. 12 over 9, divide them both by 3, is 4/3. Okay? Sine, cosine, and tangent. Writing ratios. Okay? Let's do that again. We have a 6, 8, 10 triangle. So C is 10, B is 8, A is 6. Okay, we're talking about angle B. What's the hypotenuse? 10 is the hypotenuse. What's the opposite side of angle B? 8 is the opposite side. So 6 would be the adjacent side. So the sine of B is what over what? 8 over 10, which reduces down to 4 over 5. Cosine of angle B is what over what? 6 over 10, which is 3/5. And tangent is 8 over 6, which is 4/3. Now, they're not always